We feel like a single, solid self. Yet, we often act like many different people. We can be calm one moment and angry the next. We can feel connected to others and then suddenly feel alone. This is a strange paradox. We feel whole, but our experience is often fragmented. The fractal universe framework begins with a novel idea about you. Your self is a four-dimensional shadow. Think of your life as a long sculpture stretching from your birth to your death. This is your four-dimensional self. What you experience right now is a single three-dimensional slice, like a single frame from a very long movie. Your consciousness in this moment is the light illuminating that frame. This model changes how we think about identity. Identity is not just this present slice. It is the entire shape of your life through time. This four-dimensional shape is not random. It is formed by recursion. Recursion is a process that repeats. Each step feeds into the next. Your mind works in a simple loop. Perceive, expect, act. This loop runs constantly. Each time you act, you change the world slightly. That change alters your next perception. Over years, countless loops trace the complex shape of your four-dimensional self. Habits, beliefs, personality. These are stable patterns, attractors, formed by recursion. They are grooves your mind has worn into the fabric of time. This perspective reframes memory and choice. Memory is not a dusty archive. It's an active process accessing other slices of your four-dimensional self. Recalling a childhood event is your present consciousness resonating with a past pattern. Your future hopes and fears are projections onto potential future slices. Free will here isn't magic. It's the capacity to change the pattern. By shifting your attention, changing your expectations, learning a new skill, you can alter the perceive, expect, act trajectory. You can carve a new path for your four-dimensional self. This has practical implications for growth and therapy. If you feel stuck in a negative pattern like anxiety or addiction, you can see it as a deeply grooved loop in your four-dimensional shape. Mindfulness helps you observe the loop without being trapped. It gives a moment of space between perception and action. The second core idea is the breath field. This idea proposes that our minds are not entirely locked inside our skulls. It suggests a shared medium connects us, much like water connects fish in a lake. This medium is the breath field. It is a subtle, information-carrying field that is modulated by our collective breathing, attention, emotion. Your individual ego, or your sense of I, is a localized, stable pattern within this larger field. It is like a persistent whirlpool in a flowing river. This model helps explain deep connection, empathy, collective consciousness. Breath is the primary tool for interacting with this field. Our breathing is automatic. Our breathing is voluntary. This dual nature makes it a unique bridge. By consciously changing our breathing patterns, we can change the state of our local pattern in the breath field. For example, a 4-second inhale and a 6-second exhale can calm the nervous system and create a more coherent, stable pattern in the field. When a group aligns respiratory and attentional rhythms, their patterns may phase lock, creating a larger, coherent collective pattern. The third pillar of the framework is chronoception. This is the study of our subjective experience of time. We all know that time does not always feel constant. A minute of intense fear can feel like an hour, while a joyful afternoon with friends can fly by in what feels like moments. The framework gives us a simple way to understand this elasticity. Our felt time can speed up or slow down relative to the clock. It is shaped by identifiable factors. Subjective time equals F of emotion, memory density, attention loops. Emotional intensity stretches time. Memory density stretches time. Tight attentional loops can freeze time. To lengthen pleasant moments, increase sensory awareness and attention to details, increasing memory density. If time drags with anxiety, break the loop. Focus on the physical sensation of breath to interrupt churn. This changes the variables and alters your perception of time's flow. When time feels stretched, it's like sampling more frames per second. Life in higher resolution. Compressed time samples fewer frames. Seek novelty. learn new things, break routines. These core ideas, the four-dimensional self, breath field, chronoception, come together in a model of personality. This is called the fractal personality field. Not a fixed set of traits, a dynamic state moving through a five-dimensional space. Each dimension is a fundamental axis of experience. They reflect core polarities of the human mind. The five axes are cognition, abstract, sensory; emotion, immersive, detached; will, directive, receptive; social, communal, agentic; time, focus, future, present. Your state can be plotted as a point. Example, planning a project, abstract, detached, directive, agentic, future-focused. Example, meditating, sensory, detached, receptive, agentic, present-focused. Moods, habits, character are patterns of movement through the space over time. Some regions act as attractors. Stable, recurring states we fall into easily. Habit example, checking your phone. Powerful attractor example, depression. Mental health isn't one perfect state. It's about fluidity. Rigidity equals stuck. Therapy increases fluidity. Step 1. Awareness. Identify your state. Step 2. Learn to shift intentionally. Breathwork is a primary tool. Goal. A more resilient, adaptable, coherent self. That's basically it. The framework then makes a bold and speculative leap. It asks, what if the rules that govern the mind also apply to the universe at large? This idea is called the resonance ladder. It proposes that coherence and resonance appear at vastly different scales, linked by a geometric scaling ratio connecting key resonant frequencies. At the small scale, mass is a form of resonance, phase locking with a background field, a stable self-reinforcing pattern we perceive as mass. Matter is a form of frozen rhythm. At the middle scale, key rhythms, 5-second breath field cycles, 10-second attention cycles, 90-minute ultradian rhythms. Our consciousness is a bridge. The resonance ladder looks for echoes in astronomy, patterns in the cosmic microwave background that might contain harmonic signatures. The theory suggests the universe is a vast, resonating system striving for coherence. It paints a picture of a universe bound together by a universal harmony. Building on the resonance ladder, the framework reinterprets physics, shifting from forces and particles to coherence, phase, and information. Mass is not intrinsic. Mass is a measure of coherence, the degree to which a system is phase-locked with the underlying vacuum field. A highly coherent system like a proton has a stable resonant pattern, high mass. A photon is not locked in and can travel freely. Gravity is an effect of coherence gradients, a coherence well that other objects follow via paths of least resistance. Space-time curvature becomes a map of the coherence landscape. Redshift may include information decay, tiny loss of phase fidelity. Dark energy could be unresolved tension, background decoherence preventing perfect resonance, driving cosmic exploration of new states. A framework is only useful if it can be tested. Despite its speculative nature, it proposes concrete paths for validation across psychology, neuroscience, computer science, and astrophysics. The key is translating coherence, resonance, and phase into measurable quantities. Correlate breath patterns with EEG and subjective time. High respiratory coherence should link to stronger alpha-theta harmonics and stretch time. Process traumatic memories in high breath coherence for faster, more stable resolution. Build AI agents with a simulated breath cycle and perceive expect-act loop to reduce catastrophic forgetting and increase identity stability. Look for integer frequency, locking in spectra, and tiny line-shaped deviations in precision cavities. Finding patterns would be revolutionary. Null results would challenge the claims. We began with the paradox of the self. We feel whole, yet our experience is often fragmented and chaotic. The framework suggests coherence is the organizing principle, inner world of the mind, outer world of the cosmos. 4D shadow unfolding via perception and action. Breath field, breath as tool for self-regulation and connection. Chronoception, elastic felt time giving us agency. Use breath and attention to cultivate inner coherence, navigate emotional landscapes, and build a more fluid, resilient personality. Reimagining mass, gravity, and the cosmos in terms of coherence and phase is far from mainstream, valuable for generating testable questions across fields. Look for coherence in our lives and world. A cautious but hopeful call to measure and explore the possibility that we are more connected and the universe more harmonious than we dared imagine.